If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet, I like this part, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can do all that, you'll be a man, my son. It's a little excerpt from Rudyard Kipling. Dude, that poem always just grabs my heart. From the time that I first read it, I was like, oof, there is just volumes in there. And we can read the whole thing here later. And then I wanted to read us a little bit excerpt from the book that we're doing in this little mini series that we've got cooking here.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. The drug dealer, the ducking and diving political leader, the wife beater, the chronically crabby boss, the hotshot junior executive, the unfaithful husband, the company yes man, the indifferent graduate school advisor. Ooh, yeah, it's painful. The holier than thou minister, the gang member, the father who can never find time to attend his daughter's school programs, the coach who ridicules his star athletes, the therapist who unconsciously attacks his clients' shining and seeks a kind of gray normalcy to them, the yuppie. I don't know what a yuppie is, but we can find out. The yuppie. All these men have something in common. They are all boys pretending to be men. That's the book we're doing here. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover by Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette. And we're seeing that these are all different faces, different roles, different masks, but all boys pretending to be men. So this series, we're trying to answer the question, what does it mean to be a man? How do you go from being a man? How do you go from being a boy to being a man? Mm-hmm. But before we get to all that, man, we got to take it back. You got to take it back to the way back, to the way back.
We got to go way back.
We got to way back.
We got to go way back.
How this thing even got started. Like stories of old.
How I figured out about it.
Yes, tell us. Like, how did you figure out about it? Because it's from you showing me those, what are they, like long video essays?
They're video essays put together by a guy. He takes and draws influence from literature and philosophy, and he ties it to like media, particularly like movies and TV shows, which is very relatable for the everyday person because, you know, everyone, most people watch TV, watch movies. So it's
for sure.
It's really relatable to see a character and then have it explained a philosophy and tied to that character. And so it's very digestible. I found it's called Like Stories of Old. It's a YouTube channel.
Where's that guy from?
I believe he's Dutch.
Dutch, okay.
I'm pretty sure, judging by his accent. And I think there's a video where he talked about where he's from. I think it was the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's a smart guy. He's younger too. He's like in his 30s, I'm pretty sure. Early 30s.
I finally saw how he looks like.
Oh, you saw recent videos?
Yeah, I saw recent video. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I can see that voice going with that face.
I was listening to the older ones because so it's to give some backstory. How I learned about King, Warrior, Magician, Lover was through these videos. And wait, you too? Is that
because you showed it to me.
I showed you the videos.
And then later on, I don't know how I ended up finding about this book.
Yeah, he talks about it
he
in
and
the
he quotes them directly. Yeah.
Yes, he pulls from them directly. But where's it going with that? He
Oh, you're saying you started rewatching a few of his older ones?
Yes, I was rewatching the old ones, and this is just about his voice and stuff. I could tell his like his presentation style got more personalized, and his like accent, like he like integrated more with like Western English, I suppose, rather than, you know, because Dutch is his first language, but in the Netherlands everyone speaks English really well. So
I see.
But you could tell, like, I guess his exposure. I thought it was interesting to see the progression of his like his speaking patterns.
Because man, the channel has grown.
Yes,
he's like 1 million viewers.
He's got 1 million subscribers.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I saw he has the little silver YouTube plaque. That's amazing.
Yeah, the most recent video I watched, we were talking about this. He's got I think the gold plaque now. He did a Q&A. It was like an hour and a half long about everything, his whole process and everything. But I loved it. It's honestly how I got exposed to a decent bit of philosophy, because I started watching him like 8-something years ago.
He does a fantastic job.
He's a great editor.
Oh,
he's knowledgeable, and he has like his own takes on stuff. You know, he's not afraid to give his own perspective on it.
Very true.
And honestly, he's got pretty good perspective, I'd say, overall on a lot of stuff.
How did you find it to begin with? Like, was it just a random algorithm got it right and recommended
definitely
like the perfect thing for you?
Yeah, algorithm hit a home run on that. So I was sometimes when you fine tune your algorithm, you know, it just it bats right up. Like, you know, you'll have a month long where you'll get recommendations that like fit what you want, your quality.
This thing knows me better than I know myself.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I had a good algorithm to find that guy. But I've watched him 8+ years now. And he's still he's evolved over time. Like, he shows his face now, and he involves like his own personal like life a little bit. But yeah, he still puts out phenomenal analysis. On these ones, he had a 4-part series. So the King, the Warrior, the Magician, and the Lover. He covered all of them and tied some into like one specific criteria. Like for the Lover, he went with Moonlight. The movie Moonlight, because it tied in really well. But for like King and Warrior, he ties in a lot of stuff because he's pulled from here and there.
Different movies. And I feel like he just makes you, every time now I watch stuff, I have a deeper like analysis to it. Right?
Yeah.
I don't just go, let me just pop my eyes open and just be entertained.
Yes.
I always want to find, that's interesting. Because now even the stuff that I watch, if it's not really like pulling and pushing me somehow to think.
Yeah.
And usually it doesn't, I get bored too quickly.
I'll
give you an example, like the show The Rookie. Like we watched like a few seasons and then it got to a point I was just like, this is just the same thing repeating. It got boring.
Yeah.
It wasn't pulling.
It's too formulaic.
It was very formulaic. And it wasn't like, it didn't feel like it was wrestling with, of which I guess it's a show about cops. You can't expect them to be, let's wrestle with the deepest whatevers for every episode.
Hey, but cop cuties, cute and on duty. I haven't seen the show, but I've seen that clip.
Oh, man. You know how, I guess you haven't seen the show. You'll relate to it, but that guy, so he's doing it, whatever, when they're in the States. And then they have an episode where they go to Prague, actually.
Really?
You spent some time in Prague.
Yeah.
Yes, where they go to Prague, they're hunting these
what?
Yeah, this one lady who is like a main character, not a main character, but one of the main villains in the show while they're in LA. He's a money launderer, something international criminal. So they have to go to Prague.
What the hell?
And they're trying to set up stuff. And then the cop cutie guy comes up. He comes out with his guitar, but they're like, oh,
he's out there.
He's out there. Yeah, he was doing a tour. Because I guess the band in the show gets really good.
It's a popular band.
And they're traveling around. And,
nice.
And I mean, they tied that into the show. That was nice. It was a light moment. It's a light show.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like, no, for me, I like something that
has a little something gain out of it.
Yeah, something.
That's how I feel a lot
meat to it.
too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love stuff with no meaning, and sometimes stuff with like no meaning. I find my own meaning in it, and maybe and sometimes because it's hard to know what the artist intended as well, unless they explicitly say. So, I appreciate people who make stuff. They have an intent and they just kind of let it out there. They don't say the intent, you know.
Lil Bansky.
Because it's something you might never know what. But there's stuff that is definitely pointless, and I would still watch and get enjoyment from. But I find myself more and more so wanting to gain insights from it, and in a way that challenges me or affirms things that I already know.
Very true.
You know?
Very true. Like a show that I recently watched is called Mr. In Between. I don't know if you've seen that. It's on Hulu. Just very simple. I mean, speaking of, we'll get to this King Warrior Magician Man, but it captures different elements of that so well. So it's an Aussie guy. So it's based in Australia, and it's this dude who was in the military, but then now he's back home, and he's a dad. He's got horrible anger problems, and as the show continues and it progresses, it explores where all that came from, and obviously from the father and all, I mean the relationship from childhood. It explains everything, but it's a guy who now he's back in his life, and he's raising a little daughter. He's divorced. Very sweet to the daughter, like just spoils the daughter. But then his job is he's an assassin.
Wait, I think I have heard the show.
Yeah.
He's like kind of a dickhead, right?
Yeah. Just very dry.
He's like, oh, why'd you just buy that ice cream back there?
Yes.
You were
So there's actually one of the main scenes is he ends up beating these guys because they bump against his daughter and the daughter drops the ice cream. Maybe that's
what it is. Yes.
Yeah, and then he's like, are you going to apologize, lad? And just the way the confrontation usually starts, they're very relaxed, and it's like, are you going to apologize, lad? Like giving them an opportunity.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, so they go at him, and then he's like, okay. So in that one, he tells the daughter, he's like, yo, you go hide over there.
Oh, go right over there.
Goes over, cracks their bones. But the show it's light, but it's very dense.
Yeah.
And just complicated. Because he's on one side, he's a very loving father and showing his daughter like the best love.
Yeah.
But his internal state is just chaotic. So holding those two universes in one go,
you kind of get a good look at the full extremes in one person.
The full extreme,
because I haven't seen the show, but I've actually seen clips of that too.
Yeah,
I've seen random clips of stuff sometimes. Okay. But he like he's obviously very paternal to his daughter, and he wants the best for her. But he was in prison or something right before, or he was involved. Like
he was in. I guess he was a soldier at some point.
Okay,
but he has a criminal checkered background to him.
Yeah, so he's also indulged in the other side of the human psyche.
Not only presently indulging. Because that's how he's able to sustain the life that he gives his daughter.
Right.
Which is just, the two extremes fighting together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a classic story.
Super classic.
I was thinking of The Sopranos.
Oh, you were telling me about that. I need to watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another good example.
Five
so he's more so just stepped all the way into the shadow, And then actually, an interesting part of that is, so the whole like crux of The Sopranos, or I don't know if it's crux, but a big part of it is that he goes to therapy, like from the beginning. And so he's going to a therapist, but something that happens in therapy, like his therapist will like tell him these things and make him aware of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's almost like giving him tools to use against other people. And he actively does it throughout the show. Like he'll learn about these like sort of therapist mechanisms that like like the underthoughts, how people think, and he'll use that as a weapon against other people.
No way.
He does.
No.
So like he actively gets worse by going to therapy.
He's given something that's good and just turns it around.
Yeah, because I think he's a sociopath. I'm pretty sure. He's he'll do anything he can to further his goals, and
what do they explore as the primal wound? Which, man, I saw that it's so interesting. Go ahead.
Yes, no, you're exactly. There is a primal wound. It's his mother and his father relationship. Naturally. His mother never acknowledges him as like a powerful figure, or like a man, or even like giving love. Which,
so this is him as an adult.
As a kid too.
Kid too. Okay.
And so his father figure, he died when he was I don't know. I can't remember if he was a teen or a young adult when his father died, but he was like the power figure in the family.
Proper patriarch.
Proper patriarch, strong man. He's like the strong, silent type that he idealizes, essentially. Even though when he runs into it in the real world, if it's against him, he despises it. But in his mind, he idealizes it. But his mother is the main point, because she holds like this power over him by never giving him the love he thought he deserves, or the respect he thought he deserves. Just kind of, oh, you never do this for me, Tony. Oh, you just hate your mother. You hate your mother. That's how she talks. And he'll be like, and
I
he'll go
guess I
eat some
do.
gabagool in the fridge, and that's his coping mechanism.
Food is his comfort.
Yep,
Okay,
that's one of his coping mechanisms.
bad. Dude, I was listening to. Have you seen Jubilee? The Surrounded
Yes,
episodes?
20v1.
20v1, yeah. They were doing 20v1 of, do you know Julian Michaels?
Yes.
Or Jillian Michaels?
Oh, I watched a little bit of this actually. Yes, like 20, 30 minutes of
I saw a little clip. I was like, okay, I gotta go see this.
Mhm.
And I mean, it was fascinating. So it was
Yeah.
Jillian Michaels surrounded by 20, what are those called? Body positive.
Body positivist.
Yeah, positivity.
Positivist.
Body positive. Hey, yeah. Tongue twister. Body positive movement, folks.
Yeah.
But one of the key things she kept returning to was that idea of the primal wound. And she kept asking them, like, at least not asking, but trying to dig to it. Because all of them, when she will do that and they'll dig, there will always be like a huge thing that happened when they were young that is, you can see it's just layered throughout their whole life. So this one lady that she ended up doing the 10 minutes at the end, which I actually like the format. Initially, I thought the format of that whole thing was kind of
It's a little harsh at the beginning because they like flag each other so they can get their word in.
Yeah,
but it mellows
it's very
out.
clickbaity, but
Yeah.
It's good because the value that I've ended up drawing from it, it gives you very many different arguments.
Yeah.
Like it gives you a span of arguments with such a short amount of time. So you can also think from the other side. Because I had never really actually sat down and thought like, oh, okay, why would someone be very, what's the purpose of the movement and what does it mean to the individuals? But the example that I was giving was with the one lady she ends up doing the 10 minutes with. So she ends up digging, like what's the primal wound? And the lady ends up saying how at, I don't know, 6 years old or something, like her grandma was very unhealthy. So her mom was very health conscious and did not let her as a child eat anything. And then she went to an aunt's house who gave her yoo-hoos and whatever you want, go crazy. And she went and gained some pounds because I think it was about the summer or something. And then when she came back, her mom was like, what? It's crazy, what? No. But that whole thing, you can just see like how she reacts and what she values and what she's centered her life around is so tied to that primal wound. Yeah.
It's like, that made me think of the pendulum swinging, you know. This was the cycle for the grandmother. So she didn't want it, the daughter didn't want that. So then, well, the daughter, when she had her daughter, it swung the other way. That doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it might skip. But those pendulum, that swing from one thing to another, that happens with so much stuff, I feel like.
So true. So true. And if it doesn't happen, it's maybe like it gets intensified down the generational line.
Yes.
Which is crazy because now they're even showing it in genes, right? Like epigenetics.
Oh,
where certain traits are passed down.
Yeah.
And I mean, in spiritual language, it's there too. Like generational
the
blessings
spiritual
or generational
wound,
curses.
That one's heavy.
Same thing.
That could be heavy, right? So the origin wound, how, I think, because we can tie this probably in to the boy becoming the man.
Very true.
How do we heal those spiritual wounds? I mean, do we have to first be aware of them, I assume?
I agree. I think that's like the Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Yeah.
It's a first step.
It's a first step. And to your point, the boy, if somebody, like the examples I listed there from the paragraph of like the gang member or the holier than thou minister or the wife beater, all those are people who did not address or still have not addressed that primal wound or that original wound. So they end up kind of carving their whole life, right, to be able to make sure they don't experience the pain they experienced from that original wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love this beginning intro because it really makes it relatable. Seeing, like, oh, the minister, that's seen as like a pillar of a community, but he's what was it? It was like the holier than thou, right? Minister, like, oh, he preaches a little too much. He's like, oh, he's a bit too better than you, I think it humanizes it because we see these negative things as like, oh. And I know very self-aware people would be like, oh no, I have all these things too. But it's easy for us to glorify ourselves.
So true.
And miss because the book talks about this heavily, and it says it's not a if you have this shadow form. It's where.
Yes.
Where. Because you have it. None of us are in our fullness. So
and with the shadow form, it's to your initial question of now that you've discovered the wound, because I think the wound actually is a good representation of the shadow.
Yeah.
Like all the things that you've just repressed and like pushed to the background over there.
Yeah.
And they're in the Jungian language of things is they end up moving you unconsciously, but you are not aware of them.
Yeah.
So like to that example of the lady, it's the you experience that's like speaking right now.
Yeah.
Right. But she's not aware of it until she takes the first step and goes, okay, wow, it's there.
Yeah.
So to your point, the shadow definitely is there. And it seems like the descent to that wound is where the man psychology, since we're talking about boy psychology here versus man psychology,
yes,
it seems like that's where it arises.
So should we track down to the premise of this book now?
Let's do this.
Did you want to explain that?
Let's do it, yeah. So the main central thesis of this book, by my understanding, or they state it. Actually, I don't even have to issue it by my understanding.
That's wonderful. The wonderful news.
And I think we can, I'll pull it here. I'll just read it.
Yeah.
From it's at the conclusion of the man psychology chapter, which is chapter 4. Right. So the boy psychology definitely, and we'll explore the different elements here.
Oh yeah,
we have time.
Oh
it's
yeah,
a podcast. We got hours on hours.
Oh yeah.
So he finishes the boy psychology chapter by saying, "We'll adventure to the frontiers of what we can be as boys, and from there, if we can make the transition, we will be prepared for initiation into manhood." So all the layers that you have experienced from being a boy, they don't get just destroyed. You don't toss them to the side.
Yeah.
You build on top of them, kind of like the Romans built their streets and their cities on top of the old city. But then the central point of this whole book is stated here, is to connect consciously and individually to these archetypes that they put forward. So king, warrior, magician, lover, the four main mature masculine archetypes that they put forward. So the main aim of the book, and we'll be discussing through this mini series, is just to that. Like, first of all, identify which ones speak to you, or which ones you can almost say move you. A word they kept two authors here, they kept using was possess.
Possess.
What do you think of that?
That's a good question. I mean,
because I kept seeing that and I'm like, from a spiritual term, like it's very heavy.
That's a specific word to choose, not like, be or become.
Yeah.
Possess.
They could have chosen anything else, but they chose to use the word possess.
I think of the obvious definition possess, like, when a ghost or a spirit comes in and possesses you, oh my God, I'm possessed.
Yeah.
It's the archetype is so powerful that it takes hold of you and it expresses its energy through yourself.
And that is the exact way that in spirituality, that is it too. So it's like the language is the same.
Yes.
Right.
Oh yeah, because this ultimately derives from Jung, like Jungian teaching, and past that Campbell.
Yes,
because of the hero's journey.
Excuse me.
So this is the third iteration on the human psyche, instead of like the analysis of a journey, of a story or whatever. So I think the way we get possessed by it. Now, I think something that's important to talk about as well in relation to that is that these archetypes, that you're not one or the other. You're not like this one and that one. They're all there. They're all present.
Very true.
And you can't suppress one. It'll come up in another way. They talk about that heavily. Like the warrior, they talk about how the warrior spirit is like heavily repressed, at least at the time of writing this, and perhaps even still to this day.
This was in the 90s,
the 90s.
Or 80s.
Yeah, I think 80s, 90s. And so by repressing and pushing it down, it's going to come up in another way, likely in shadow forms, because it won't have it won't be cultivated properly.
That's true. I love the analogy he used of you want to treat them as a boardroom.
Oh yes, the executive boardroom. Boardroom. Oh, this is my CFO, and this is my what's the attorney? General counsel.
This is my COO. This is my CPO, CTO, and then you're the chair.
You're the chair. You're the person. You're the combination of all four of those.
Yeah,
which is the king essentially as well, I suppose.
Which I guess that points us to, we can start now at the boy psychology layer of things.
Yes,
because also it seemed like the layering of it all too kind of leads upwards like that. Where in boy psychology, he starts it at what? The divine child, or the archetype of the divine child, then the archetype of the precocious child, and then builds on, what's the third one? The archetype of the hero is the last one. It's like the final step of boyhood is the hero.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But then the one below that.
Because each archetype has the highest form of it, right? In boyhood.
Yes.
And he suggested there was like a general flow of it. And divine child the hero, right, was the last one.
Yes. In boyhood. I found the picture. So the boyhood version of, because we keep saying king, warrior, magician, lover, of which he puts that, or they put that as the main things. But the boyhood version of the king is the divine child. And then, the divine child is the positive element of it. And then they go ahead and they list the negative side, and the two negative sides actually for each.
It's called the bipolar aspect. It's a triangle. And so at the top is the archetype in its fullness, and then there's a positive and a negative polar side, and that's called the shadow form. The positive side might be something that really uses it to like its advantage. It doesn't mean positive as in it's good, but like as in like it
like action oriented,
or like whatever the most used side of that form is, and then the negative is like when it represses itself.
Yes.
And so I think it is very interesting to see each one of those, and when I was reading through it, I was like identifying which part. Like for the magician, they talk about the shadow trickster. Or I think it's something called like that. I was like, I actually identify with that one pretty heavily. Or no, the know-it-all trickster. Know-it-all trickster.
The know-it-all trickster, and so the know-it-all trickster is the active charged. Let's use the word active, and then the dummy is the negative charge.
Dummy, yeah.
Which we can start with that one.
Yeah.
I thought, me too. I related to that one. I was like, oh, okay. The boy in me from that element, I can see that.
Because I think of it in the literal sense of the word, like know-it-all trickster. Like as a kid, I wouldn't say I was necessarily know-it-all, although I definitely was and still am a bit. Or maybe not a bit, a good bit. But I was certainly a trickster. I loved pulling little pranks, on my friends or my sister, or like messing around.
Yeah.
I still do to this day. But it's a little about like focusing it better, I suppose.
And I feel like even because at the end of the day, it's you building on top of it. So the man psychology element of that is the magician. So you still keep that element of joking, and he gives the example of why it was so important to have the jokester. They call him a joke. There's a different word for jokester.
The jester.
Jester.
In medieval times, yes.
Yes, the jester in medieval times.
Because he humbled the king.
And he can remind the emperor, you're naked, emperor. Like you're right.
Just a man, buddy.
You are. You're just a man. You're just a bag of meat, like the rest of us.
But he had jester's privilege, so he wasn't executed.
Do you think the comedians all fall in that line?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, because the comedians, Even like not ones that talk about just society, but you know the crowd work comedians. You go there and they do crowd work. They're humbling you a lot of times.
Very true.
Like when you go there and like, so let's say you heckle, especially if you heckle them, you're gonna
get it.
Especially they're a good comedian, you're gonna get humbled by them. And that's kind of what you go there for. Like, you know, they are very in tune with knowing people, and so they can sort of very quickly get in their headspace and like identify with something that they see in themselves as well. That's how they're so. Most of the time, that's how they're so like knowledgeable and aware of it.
Because they've done the introspection. They've really gone within.
Even though they might seem like they're aloof or just, you know, a silly comedian, they've done some serious self-diving, whether they're conscious of it or not.
Do you think they're able to also explore their shadow more or easier because they take things a little bit lightly, right? Versus someone who is very guarded. If you're just like, serious, right? You will take yourself with that kind of seriousness, and you'll, instead of going within and saying, okay, what are actually the negative elements that are here, and having kind of like that board conversation, like, okay, let's go there and explore and hear from each one of the board members how the company is doing. Like, that's how I picture the trickster will approach that.
Yeah.
So because they can do that a little bit easier, perhaps that helps them integrate their shadow way quicker. And then they're able to then, as like you're saying, the comedian who is doing the crowd work, they're able to look in the crowd and just say, I am serious. I don't laugh at jokes. I paid money to be here. Right?
But I'm too cool to laugh.
I'm too old to laugh, but I paid money to be here.
Yeah.
Right. And like make fun of that and kind of bust that bubble.
Yeah.
Because them themselves have been able to go within and do it.
Yeah. No, I think they have to, because when we say the shadow aspects, it is implied mostly that it is a part that you want to improve in the book, but it's something that has power and it's something that can be used well. Yes. So I think you're exactly right. The comedians, they definitely dive into that quite heavy and they utilize it. And some do better than others. Some are you know, good at making themselves seem low as well. So it's like, you know, it's not I'm belittling you. It's like I'm down here with you.
Yeah.
Some maybe not as much, but both could be useful, I think.
That's true.
In the comedian aspect, at least.
That is true. I'm trying to think of, like, comedian-wise, who is one that I've seen who does it very, very well.
My favorite comedian, and I like him a lot, and I'm trying to put this together in terms of this, but my favorite comedian is Norm Macdonald. He's just
Norm is good. No.
I wouldn't say he's the best comedian ever. He's just my favorite, and he's great at like. Mainly, he tells anti-jokes a lot. Like he's not actually doing it for the audience, so maybe he's not the best example for this. He's doing it for himself, but in that like almost self-actualization of the joke by him having fun with it. Other people like myself, I find it funny.
I see. So do you feel like he lowers the stakes of things?
Yeah, because a lot of times, because he is funny and he will tell like actual jokes sometimes. But like his ones that really hit home for me are where he sets up the stage and he's like about to do this big joke, and then it's just the stupidest punchline ever. It's just maybe it's him being offensive or him just being like, "What? No, that's not funny. That's not a joke. I'm trying to be for real here." And his delivery is phenomenal. You can't top his delivery.
I see.
But I like that a lot.
So it's not predictable. You just feel like, "Oop."
Yeah, and in a way, because you think you can follow the punchline and then you don't. But the reason why I bring it up is because a lot of times he'll do that around other comedians. And so he's making them the punchline because they'll be like, they're trying to butt into it, but he uses them and they're like whatever comedic value they provide as the punchline. and they know it.
They didn't know they were the pawn the whole time.
After it happens, they're like, oh.
The game of chess is over. That's when they realize,
exactly. Norm just beat me. But Norm wasn't trying to win.
I think still one of my favorite remaining is I guess he passed George Carlin. And I definitely see the magician element there. Like very introspective, very well read, very like he's gone in and he's evaluated this thing. It's like you can tell he's spent a lot of time by himself just going through the material and
Yeah.
thinking through it. Which I saw a little clip. I need to find that full episode. It's George Carlin's daughter on a podcast. And they were asking him, like, so how was your dad, like, outside the stage? And the clip that I saw, she was just like, my dad was not a funny guy. Like, he was, I mean, in essence, it seemed like he was very detached, kind of, yeah. So I need to find the full episode for the context. Then we can go digging for the primal wound.
Yeah.
But what I really like about him, like the example of, have you seen his euphemism joke? Where he's doing a whole, I mean, he does like a 10-minute of, because nowadays we've changed, like we morph language to, in essence, almost reflect a reality that is not so. So he gives the example of what now is called PTSD, right? Like in World War I, it was called shell shock.
Shell shock.
Yeah, it sounds just like, man, we gotta address the people who are being hit by the shell shock. Like, it sounds very extreme of a condition for a human being to experience. And when they come back, I feel like, definitely we gotta address the shell shock, right? Yeah. And then go a few years down or a few decades down, Vietnam War, the same battle, shell shock.
Yeah.
From Vietnam War, they called it battle fatigue.
Battle fatigue.
Yeah. Now it's like,
we'll send them on layaway or whatever it's called.
They just need to sleep.
Furlough.
They just have battle fatigue, right? And the whole point he's trying to make is that we bury the pain behind language, because then he goes forward and he says, now we call it post-traumatic stress disorder. Like, it's so many words that it doesn't even catch the gravity of what those people are going through, because it's like their nerves are fried at war. That, and also seeing just the evil that goes on at war.
So are you saying shell shock might be a better term, or all the terms are?
So that's his argument, and I agree with him. Shell shock is a better term because it's like, when you had that, even just for the first time, did you feel like that was, hey, that's an intense thing for a human being to go through, that maybe we need to help them? And that's the argument he makes, versus you call it post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah,
it's so cold and so detached.
It's because it's trying to intellectualize it.
Yes,
because it's already been defined, and maybe I have a bias on this because we didn't grow up in World War I when it was called shell shock. We've known as PTSD our whole lives, and so it has this medical term to it. When I hear both of those in our current era bias, I hear shell shock and I think of, the shells have been raining. The men are scared. They've soiled themselves. They are not doing good. But, get them away from battle for about a month. They'll be fine, right? Even though that's not reality. PTSD, it's very detached and medical term.
Very cold. But
from what I assign the thought to is like, that's post-traumatic stress disorder. That's something you have. It's not just like it ends in a month and shell shock goes away. It's something that's assigned to you now, and that you have to consistently deal with.
That's a different way of looking at it. I had not seen it that way.
That's the way I think of it right now, and it's likely just because of just how I'm familiar with it through that lens. But I find that really interesting how George puts it that way. Because if I were to just have no knowledge of either, if I heard shell shock, that would absolutely stick out to me more than even hearing the full thing, post-traumatic stress disorder. Like, that's a very blanket term. The shell shock is specifically related to war.
And the jargon behind post-traumatic stress, if you didn't know what that was, you'd be like, okay, stress disorder? Okay, maybe there's a stress disorder there.
PTSD can be related to a lot of things too. It's a big blanket term.
Yep.
But it was mostly used for war vets.
But I wonder if it's just also if it's the natural evolution of language, that we always want to define more and more and more, which is our left hemisphere of our brain always wants to put it in more and more categories. Like, we want to issue the thing precise as we can get it.
Yeah.
And the more words you have, the more precise, because it's basically referencing. So we are referencing this thing. So to get it to be more precise, we have to reference it with many, many reference points to where it's like, okay, now we understand what it is.
We've got the main category, we've got a subcategory, and then we've got like a subsect of that subcategory.
Yep.
And so we know exactly what it is, file it away.
file it away.
Right.
Don't take that.
It
to the
intersects
VA.
with other things, or we know there's nuance there, but yeah, I think that's a human thing for sure. At least everyone in that sort of hemisphere, which is more like the magician space, understanding, having knowledge, mastery over technology,
mastery over language as well. Because the way he used that language, you're like, whew, man, that's crazy.
And it is useful. I mean, it helps us categorize stuff, but yeah, that detachment can be a little, it pulls it away from the spiritual wound, because that is a part of it, is a spiritual wound.
Very true. And like to the depth of it. And then on the active side of the magician was the know-it-all trickster. And then we had the dummy.
Dummy.
Yeah. So this is the child version of it.
The dummy, it's just as the name intends, it's deceiving, because they act.
I thought that was fascinating.
I don't know, so I don't have to do anything. But they use that like blind. There's a term now that I hear a lot of people use that low-key overused, but I can't remember what it is now all of a sudden. But they use that ignorance as like a shield. Like when a lot of times ignorance they do know better. Like they do know better, or they have some, they're, what's the word? Oh, there's a phrase for it. It's like, weaponized incompetence or something like that.
Woo! Weaponized incompetence.
Yeah. See, that's another intellectualization.
There you go. Yeah. Like, okay. We can just say they're acting dumb.
Yeah. He's acting dumb. No, that's weaponized incompetence. It's like we went the other way.
Give it a decade and we'll have more words to it.
It used to be softer. Now it's harsher.
Yeah. Weaponized incompetence. Man. So, and that is the positive element of it is what they call the precocious child. So it's a child who is ahead of their times in maturity or intelligence. Like they just seem to grasp onto things easier and quicker, whether ideas or so. And it makes sense why they will gravitate towards knowledge and the seeking of knowledge, because they're always asking why. Like, why this way? How come? Like, tell me more. It's not just the sky is blue and they take it at your word.
The curious human mind, wanting to categorize once again, or at least expand on its current knowledge.
Very true.
What is it?
Yeah, that word I had to go look it up.
Precocious child?
Precocious,
okay.
Yeah. I didn't know what that word meant.
When I read it, every time I say it in my head a different way.
Yeah, it doesn't flow. Precocious. Precocious.
Precocious.
Yep. Precocious? Precocious.
Precoco.
So that's the magician. And then, I guess let's start at the foundation.
Yes.
They lay the boy psychology of it, and that's the precocious child is the positive element. Then there is the negative shadow side of it, and there's two sides. There is the know-it-all trickster and the dummy. And then to the man who builds on top, the man who is by that archetype, who builds on top of that, is the magician. And well, that one is for a later episode. Yeah. We can tease it here.
Little teaser.
Little teaser here.
It shows the structure that we need to explain, and we need to understand ourselves.
Very true. Yeah, and continue digging to understand.
Yeah, continue digging.
Dude, every time I read this book, I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
I had not seen it that way. Yeah.
One thing that stuck out to me about laying the foundation of the boy, because you think of boy to man, and you talked about this earlier a bit, and it's like you have to grow up and mature. That's a part of it, yes, but you have to take those foundations you made in boyhood and bring them over, because they talk about in the book, the boy energy that it brings, it's creativity, it's inspiration, it's open-mindedness, it's this willing to explore that you have to carry over into your adult life.
Definitely, like that energy that rejuvenates, brings new life.
Yes, it creates. That's what the ultimate piece of it. It's creation. Yes, that's right.
Do you think there is, when you become an adult, like this is a thought I've had from time back. I think I maybe had it first from Jordan Peterson of there is a rediscovery that you have to go down to find that boy.
Yeah.
And then but now as an adult, once you do and you're able to really reintegrate him back, there is a new youth that almost even comes upon you.
Yeah.
And it's not like, it's nothing that you can ignore, because even you yourself are like, wow, there is a peppiness to life.
There's some spunk in you.
Yeah. So,
I agree. I had the thought today, actually. I think as I was driving here, or maybe as I got here. But I was thinking in general terms along that, because we were talking about, oh no, it was when I was here, we were talking about work, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh man, adult stuff, it's so boring sometimes, but it's a part of life, and you got to find solace in that, and you got to find that boy in it too. But I think I'm starting down that journey, because I've always been fairly happy-go-lucky in my adult life, but how much of that is stuff that it's because I believe that, or is it because it's something that was artificial? That's questions I'm having to answer to myself. You're
digging the descent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about for you? What's your perspective on that?
For me, as a boy, I was like very light, there was just a lightness, I think, to me. And curious, for sure. I was always curious.
An inquisitive mind.
Inquisitive, yeah. And I think that's why, truly, as I was going back to the boyhood side of it, I was like, okay, maybe I'm leaning more towards that inquisitiveness. And like, just when I'll meet people, that's how I'll just be curious. Like, oh, what do you do? What are you like? How can I have a conversation with you? Right. And I remember even as a young boy, I always wanted to sit down and talk to adults, but not feel like they were treating me like a child.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes. No, exactly.
Right? Like within me, it's almost like I had the feel like I can carry this conversation. You don't have to water it down for me. You know what I mean?
To be like, so how's school?
So what are you up to?
You want to be like, I read in The Economist today.
Yes. Like, almost like pull me up to the next, but don't dumb it down.
Yeah.
So that it's interesting, because I do youth ministry, and the way that I approach it even when I'm teaching is that, like, I don't, because myself, I didn't like it when any teacher would dumb it down.
Yeah.
Or they would look at me as if I didn't have the capability to grasp what they were saying, or the fullness of it.
There is a difference between dumbing things down and like I have to bring it really down to your level, and like a simplification. Because simplification, that's hard to do.
That's a good.
That's a great skill.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring. Yep.
But I see exactly what you mean.
You see what
it's like it's not approaching the level of condescending, but it's almost there.
It's on the journey to that.
Yeah.
Yes. So as a boy, that was something that I had. And what I've done now as an adult, to going on that journey of rediscovering that boy, is to like truly bring back that natural curiosity that I have. And in anything, I'm always, okay, tell me more about this. Okay, let me explore this. And this digging for wisdom, I think, is the fruit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there is just that innate curiosity of like, okay, cool, I hear you at your word, but let me go do my own research.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Give me 5. Let me go dig a little bit so that I can come and we can have an actual conversation. Yeah.
I think that's a really admirable trait. But as a kid, I think I was the exact opposite. So I was a pretty shy kid, and I didn't like, unless I knew them, then I'm pretty outgoing.
Yeah.
Especially as a kid. But I didn't want to just approach people and start talking to them. It was something that I don't know, I just didn't want to do. And so because I didn't really have that foundation as an adult, it's still hard for me to do. I mean, once I know someone, it's water under the bridge, not too hard. But to just go out, I have to force myself to think of, other than just like simple questions, like, how was your day? That's not going anywhere, right? At least not in the US or whatever.
Yeah. How was the weather?
Yeah. So I have to cultivate that now as an adult, since I didn't exactly build that
I see.
foundation.
Are you able to have small talk?
I can. I mean, it depends. I'm trying to be better at just being able to just be on anytime. But at work, I really compartmentalize myself a bit, like the professional.
Yeah.
And so
I'm cog in the engine.
I'm a cog in the machine. I'm gonna do great. I'm gonna do really good.
Don't ask me about personality and color. I am just a cog.
I am a machine.
Oh man.
So I'm trying to get better about that, and I'm doing better at it, and I'm at least trying and succeeding at times.
I think for me, because I kind of nurtured that a bit, I struggle a little bit with small talk.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, man, let's just get that out of the way.
It's this barrier.
Like it's a barrier. Like, let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But I had Trevor Noah once talking about like really the value of small talk. Because you can't get to the deep stuff before you've established and kind of, okay, you've both measured the temperature of where the other person is, and you're like, okay, let's get to the deep stuff.
Yeah, you got to have the small talk. Well, I mean, I think of it from like a sales point of view. Like you got to build rapport. You got to find commonalities, common ground.
Hey, Vivian trained you good, my boy. You remember all that.
Well, I mean, because honestly, it like applies very well to just kind of anything. I got to actually utilize it more. But yeah, I mean, you have to find that common ground, because if, like, let's say there's a subject that you really want to go into, and for you it's down here, it's this deep well, but for them, it's just like this. Then if you dig down there, it's not going to go anywhere, because like they don't. That's not their interest. They don't care about that. Yeah.
You gotta be interested in them and their perception of the weather before you can go down to the storms that lay beneath.
That small talk is the boy that builds the foundation.
Then the man comes and
he digs down and.
Then they build up.
They build the foundation.
Divine child. So we just did the precocious child. That heavy word to say. Divine child. So divine child, the positive, and then we have the two shadow elements of it. The high chair tyrant. Man, these words are so descriptive.
Yeah, they are. They help paint that picture.
They do
pretty well.
Like, give me food. No. That's what I just pictured.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then the other side of that shadow is the weakling prince.
The weakling prince and the high chair tyrant. High chair tyrant.
Oh,
geez.
Yeah, you're going to take that one.
Yeah, so the high chair tyrant it is exactly as you described. It's a little kid that he's been given too much authority, or at least the perception of authority. And if he doesn't get what he wants, then he's a tyrant. He's like, why don't I get this? Why isn't it like this?
Yep.
Why are you saying no to me? Right.
And even when he's given what he wants, it's never enough.
It's never enough.
It's like, no, you got it wrong. I wanted ABCD, not CDE.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah, my alphabet soup is X's and O's. Why isn't ABC? What the hell, Mom?
I'm not loved enough. And it represents the negative element of the divine child, which is they see themselves as the center of the universe.
Yes. Oh, right. Yes. The center of the universe. That's important because if their needs are met, no one else has needs, or if they do, they're not as important as their own.
They're
needs.
the priority.
They're the priority. Yeah. Everything revolves around them because they're the center of the universe. And the thought of that changing is damaging and crashing to their own identity.
That one. I didn't relate to it as much as the precocious child.
Yeah, I agree. And what was the passive element?
Oh, the passive element is the weakling prince.
The weakling prince.
Yeah. So they act like, all is against me.
Yeah, you kind of you shrink yourself. Well, I guess there's two parts. There's the part where you're a piteous. I don't know. You just really self-pitying.
Self-pity, yeah.
You have too much self-pity.
It's a pity party.
Yeah,
all the time.
Nothing goes my way. Nothing. Or it's the part where you really shrink yourself. You shrink your capabilities to like accommodate others.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so as a kid, I could relate to that somewhat.
I mean, I see.
Not not too much into the one side or the other. Well, I guess the weakling prince somewhat because, like I said, I was a shy kid. And I think that could be a part of it. Now, shyness doesn't imply that. But like
because you can just be quiet.
Yes, the quietening yourself.
To yourself, yeah.
Yeah, but like shrinking your capabilities a bit because, I don't know. I grew up in a smaller town, I guess, where everyone does things a certain way. You know what I mean? And so I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm special. But like I always felt a little – I was thinking about this today actually as well. I always felt a little bit like different in the way I thought and did things. I actually don't know why that is. But – so I would like, just kind of, calm down.
So you grew up in Waco. The thought that just came to mind was, what, you're saying you do want to join a cult?
Yeah, exactly.
You always found yourself thinking a little bit different?
Yeah, I was like, man, you guys, something about this doesn't seem right.
It just doesn't. It's not my ABCs.
I don't want to be in the compound.
I want to be free. That's the precocious child. You want to explore. I think what would be interesting also is to have a conversation with our parents on which one of these they observed. Because I think it's one thing to try and remember how we viewed ourselves versus how we actually were. Right?
No, that's a really good point. And even then, like, because I feel like our perceptives are going to be quite warped, especially as kids. Because honestly, I don't remember a whole lot from my early childhood age.
Me neither.
Like, it's just kind of a blur a bit, bits and pieces. But our parents would definitely know more. They're going to have their own bias.
And also, I think we are biased to remember to portray the memory as more positive.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because then you don't want to just be like, oh, I was a horrendous kid. Because then, what does that say about you as an adult?
Yeah, exactly.
Like to your own internal conversation.
We build ourselves up. Right?
That would be interesting. Okay, I got to ask my parents.
I need to ask that too.
Which one? Tell me, was I a high chair tyrant here?
Like, what are you talking about?
Oh man, like you didn't know how you were. So the divine child gives way to the king, and so in the fullness, as a man, once the divine child has progressed from the boy side, they become the king. And as we're talking about the divine child, last week you had asked me of which one of these archetypes the mature ones, I thought I had the most. And one of the ones I told you of, the one I thought was primary was the king.
Yeah.
And the magician here.
Yes.
So I was wondering, okay, if I don't have memories of myself feeling like the divine child, do I really, is the foundation that I've built truly that? Or is it just that I see, like I have elements that are more on this archetype? Because from the child, when I was rereading just from the child's view, or the boy, it's boy versus man here, we're saying. From the boys, the one that really, really stuck out was this one, the precocious child.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I was a mama's boy, the only boy child on this side.
The lover.
And I don't think I was a bully.
Yeah.
So the hero here. Yeah.
Yeah. That raises another question, actually, that I just thought of. Our foundation in boyhood, I know a lot of it is extremely relevant to actually the literal sense of boyhood, but how much is it also just the immature part of it before we've developed? Like we could still have boyhood in terms of this sense develop in adulthood. Like we could still be immature while we're adults, and that's still be a part that we develop. How much of that do you think comes into play here?
That you can be a 35-year-old but still acting like.
Yeah, you're still acting like the high chair tyrant.
The high chair tyrant. I think it's going back to one of the main points that they mentioned. If you don't make that full transition consciously, and I think you brought that point earlier on when we were talking about the healing. Yeah, because it seems to me that all of these boyhood archetypes remain in you with the positive and the negative, but the level of which they move you and they animate you and kind of
possess you.
They possess you. Back to the word, back to the P word. Right? The level to which they possess you is proportionate to how conscious of them you are.
Right.
And I think the more conscious you are, then you can actually go down and do the healing. Like while I was prepping for it, I saw a really good analogy of the way to think about it. The boy, like imagine you have a house, and here in Oklahoma, I think houses get like foundational cracks.
Yeah.
Like, or imagine there's a basement and you just get a foundational crack.
Mhm.
Like the boy will just continue to build the house around the crack and just act as if it doesn't exist or if it's not of impact. Right?
Because he's not conscious of it.
He's not conscious of it. And
or if
he's conscious, he's trying to cover it up.
He's avoiding it.
He's avoiding it. There you go. But the man will go down the basement, like fix up the crack and then build
Even though it still might be cracked, but he's working on it.
Very true. Yep.
Okay.
Like that's taking action, working on it. So that I think corresponds to what you were saying earlier on, or when you asked about the healing, is like there is that descent. Like you go into the wound, patch that thing up. It's still a scar nonetheless. But from that scar, like new life can come up. I don't know what are your thoughts on that analogy?
I think I would agree with that. So I guess to relate it to this again, we can still have those boyhood aspects, especially if it's one that you've like as in the mature form you haven't cultivated at all. Like you haven't consciously chosen, or you can also do this stuff unconsciously. Like, you don't have to be like, I'm going to work on the warrior today. Like those trials come up and like no matter what, right?
Yes.
But as if you actually like take that effort and that power to go through with it, I suppose. Whether you're conscious of the archetype, but in spirit of the book, the archetypes, they are absolutely out there and they're going to possess you one way or another.
Man, that element of possessing is so. I want to just double click on that because thank you, Chamath Palahapatia, for that language. Let's double click on that. In the spiritual sense of things, right? Like the example of in the Bible of Jesus casting out demons out of a man who was possessed by literally legions. I think that's what he goes and he's confronting the man, and the voice that answers back in that verse is actually the demons. And they say, we are legions. But what's crazy is before he even goes close to confronting that man, they speak and they recognize the power and the light that he carries, which is, I mean, just crazy to think about, right? And then once he confronts them and they had possessed that man for however long, and he casts them out. They leave and they go and they get in a herd of pigs, and then they possess the pigs, and the pigs go and they jump off a cliff, right? So there is an element of this in the spiritual sense. There are spirits, demonic spirits, but in the language of this book, because that's what I was saying earlier on, even as we were talking, like, there is such a, we can't divorce these ideas, because when they examine it and they end up using words like possess, and then the way that an archetype is truly defined is like it's a background force that you cannot see, but you cannot ignore its impact. Right? Yeah. So for you, how do you wrestle with those ideas in just experiencing reality, right? Because here we're saying the archetype can literally just possess you, and you're moving, like the example I gave you, the story I was telling you, the guy in Taiwan who something was moving that man. Because he was not acting in a rational way.
He had a darkness inside him
that was moving him. Yeah. Like he was not acting if let's say we take the evolutionary way of looking at things, like we are self-preservation, we're seeking self-preservation, that the way that guy was acting was not in accordance with that. No. It was like he was driving himself to his own end.
He is an extreme example of being possessed by a shadow warrior archetype.
Very true.
Because he was ready to act out in violence, for one.
Yes.
And so you said he was like military, maybe?
I think he was ex-military.
All right, so this is going to send us to another topic I think is
Hey, dude, we're in a podcast.
I think,
Let's go to another topic.
I think this is
Let's do it.
But this is important in relation to this, like very important. So I'm gonna double click. I'm gonna triple click.
Let's triple click on that.
Which is just a normal click. I mean, triple click.
Double
it cancels out the double.
Okay.
But so the military, this gets to ritual, right?
Yes.
And most militaries, they take a boy, usually literally a boy, like an 18-year-old,
Yep.
and they make them into a man in the
chicken.
military sense. It is a ritual. Like they go through boot camp, they get a sort of body humiliation, like they get pushed to the brink. They get military training, like initiation of like martial arts, of how to use a weapon, how to camp, and you do a lot of running. You train your body,
or even mental ones.
and mental as well. It's a mental capacity for like strength and resilience. Like they hone that into you.
Yes,
it's a ritual initiation,
and you have a guide.
You have a guide, yeah.
Who is the
drill sergeant?
The drill sergeant. Yep, they have gone through it. They have taken a million people through it, so they're very well versed to take you in that journey of it.
But it's to prepare you for something. It's to prepare you for war or for, that's war mindset. It's a pseudo initiation in that sense because it takes you to a place, but it doesn't take you home. It doesn't bring you full circle. And so back to the story of that man that was very livid. In your story, he was very angry. He was possessed by that shadow warrior. He was initiated and taught all of this aggression, because it was needed. It was this aggression that's needed for a warrior in that sense, that pseudo initiation. A true, we'll get to that at some point, but a true warrior doesn't need that. But his form of it did. And so he was just, it was probably almost, other than whatever, he could have been on substances and stuff. We don't know.
I think.
But he was certainly possessed.
The substances even brought it out more.
Yes, it brought it out. Yeah. It was hiding under there. It was going to come out one way or another. But it possessed him, and he probably leaned on, what he knows, and that's aggression. That's, being able to physically dominate.
Do you think he leaned on, or the thing possessing him literally just by possessing, it took over his will and used him as a puppet? Because when I think possessing, that's the image that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And then, to your point, used the training he had received that had not come full circle.
Yes.
And just was like a marionette.
Yeah, because the training was just a tool, right? And then he's the...
Man, that I had never seen it.
He's the mechanism of which uses that tool.
Instrument.
So, I mean... I want to be careful to say, because obviously, we like to use the word possessed in this scenario, but I mean, he's consciously making these decisions. It's not like some demon spirit warrior came in and, my fault, sorry.
Do you?
In a way, yes, but.
And that's, let me just side click, or hold that main train. Let me side click here a little bit, because in the spiritual sense of things, you still have to let them in. Have you seen Sinners?
No. No, I haven't seen that.
So they have this very interesting scene from Sinners, the movie. Like one of the guys ends up getting beat and he's coming back to the house, right? And he's been going in and out the whole time in the house. No problem. But this time he goes up to the door and he asks them, "Can you let me in?" And they're like, "What do you mean, can you let you in? You've been coming in and out this house the whole time. Why are you asking now if we can let you in?" So in essence, the picture they were trying to paint was that even this possessive thing that had possessed him in the movie, it's whatever, right? It cannot enter just without being let in. So there is that willingness that you opened yourself up. And I was taking a side quest for this for the spiritual angle. Like you have to. It's almost like maybe the knock is there, but you have to open the door. It's not a overwhelming rah, but the moment you open the door, then he invites himself and his buddies, and they all come in, and then you become the puppet.
Or, because I think of myself, and so I'm trying to put it onto him as well in some common theme. What if the door was just, he had just left it unlocked?
Sure.
And
Or
he,
even
he opened at one point, but he never closed it.
yes.
He's just always possessed by that. He just needed a fire to, bring the whole gang together.
I think precisely.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
you nailed it on. And I think maybe it's he never closed it, and then the momentum of that thing itself, almost like a negative
It
compound
becomes
interest,
your identity.
it becomes the identity.
Yeah.
And then now to pull back from that.
And it's a habit
is-
too.
Yeah.
Because like the way you do stuff, it becomes habitual. Like, if you think happy thoughts all the time, they compound on each other, and
Right.
you're not always gonna be happy, but that might be your base state.
So Napoleon Hill has that book, Outwitting the Devil. And he has
Yes.
that book is gold.
You gave it to me. I read it.
You read it?
I mean,
You remember?
it's been a couple, probably 4 years since I read it. When you gave it to me.
That's a good one to have there on the library. Just pick it up a little bit, time to time.
I'm gonna have to
Woo!
dive into that one.
Dive
again,
in a little
maybe.
bit. But here's the idea of the hypnotic rhythm. I don't even remember that. Where it's, in essence,
Yeah.
whatever you feed, it gets to a point where that thing has its own velocity and it just moves, or momentum.
It's hard to stop
and it just moves forward like a train. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's now a moving train.
At that point, you have to be conscious and you have to consistently
Yeah.
choose to stop it.
Yep.
Like, all right, so I have a good example of this.
Mm.
So you know this. We live together. You remember there's this game I used to play called League of Legends.
Yeah, I remember.
I would play that game, and it's
with race.
it's
Yep.
yeah. It's honestly a great game because it's like chess and I don't know. It's this mental battle of chess with like this technical mastery of like Super Smash Bros. For instance. So I'll put them together, and it's on a map against other people, like multiple people, 5v5. Well, I would always get in this mindset, and I would get really, kind of really into really, and partially I would use it as a catharsis to just like, so I just get this out of me. But the other part, it was like a habit I was building where I would just get angry at it. And so I stopped playing it fully like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Maybe almost a year ago now, I think. I think like 8-9 months ago. I haven't played it since. And not say I won't ever again, but for now I'm content with that because I don't want to be that. I don't want to identify that, and I want to get rid of that habit.
I see. Do you think it was calling to a certain archetype or boy
Absolutely.
archetype?
Yeah. Well, for sure, a negative part of the warrior.
Oh yeah. Well, let me pull up the warrior once. Pull up, warrior. So the warrior has on one, or the boy child of it is the hero.
The hero.
And then
the fullest.
Yep, the fullest. And then the activated side is the grandstander bully.
Yeah.
And then the coward is the
100% grandstander bully. And a part of because I would go in the chat too, and I'd want to have I'd make this mental battle.
Why?
Because
like the battle begins in the chat,
and
before you even start the game.
Literally, I get in there, and sometimes it works. It's a double-edged sword. And I have a friend, Tyler. He puts it perfectly. He's like, it's called being tilted. And when you go full tilt, you either you're like full sending. And if you're tilted, you're really angry or you're really mad or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I would teeter this line, and I would go into the chat, and I would either tilt my enemy into oblivion, and I'd be like, woo-hoo, or I would tilt myself into oblivion. It'd be one or the other.
Yeah. And so
it was a balancing act.
When you go in the chat, it's a full back and forth.
I mean, sometimes no one says anything, and that's honestly the best way to beat it. No one says anything.
So you
piss
even
me
go
off.
there and kind of like bait them in.
Yeah, I'll try and bait. Yeah, because I'm a pretty good baiter.
Yeah, I can attest.
And so I would go in there and do that, and I still play games. I do that to some extent, but like just for fun, not to actually like be crazy. But then, in that one, it was to get in their mind and make them lose.
I see.
But sometimes I would make myself lose, and so I that's an example I would use for my own experience of how I would be possessed by the grandstander bully, or in what's the mature form?
The hero.
No.
Oh, sorry. The warrior. The warrior is a mature form of it.
That's what it's called. Not the fullest.
Oh, sorry.
It's positive aspect.
The positively charged aspect is the sadist on one side.
Sadist.
And the masochist on the other.
I could see the sadist.
I don't remember which one is which.
Masochist is you want hurt to yourself.
And then sadist is you want pain
to others. Yeah, so the sadist.
I see.
Would absolutely be.
I can see I think for me, definitely too, I can see that element of with the grandstander bully. Maybe a little bit, because the positively charged of it that I saw was for me was more of this know-it-all trickster. Like just that I didn't like. I don't want to be caught unawares.
Yeah.
Right. Which for me, that's going back to the primal ones that I need to find why that is the case.
Yeah.
Right. And then it puts you at you want to feel superior. And I think maybe that's when you're talking about the sadies, that's what came to mind. Like, okay, I definitely never want to feel inferior to anybody.
Yes.
And then that can become, I want to feel superior.
So you project it onto others when in reality, you're trying to make yourself feel superior, but you still feel inferior by trying to make others feel the other way. You know, it's very backwards. And I just thought of this as well. You know, that pendulum I was talking about earlier? Because I think as a kid, I was actually in the boy one, I was the negative side. You know, I didn't mind, you know, taking the hits, you know, or taking, you know, I wouldn't put it on the others. I would just take it on myself, you know, or, you know, be a little pitying. But it swung the other way to like make up for that fact, perhaps. You know,
I see. I think for me, the swing was more of like I wanted to. So even when you're talking about the chat, going back to not Dungeons and Dragons, what was it? The game you used to play?
Oh, League of Legends.
League of Legends.
Yeah.
Was Reese the one who played Dungeons
he played it too, yeah.
Okay. For me, it was more of I wanted to beat, like I want to beat you before we even have a war. And which is very funny, right? Like all these things, dude, are so tight. Look here.
The art of war.
The art of war. Like I told you last week how I just gravitate towards something about it for me is very fascinating. And one of Sun Tzu's lines from the art of war is like you have to win before fighting your enemy in battle. And that to me speaks so much to like you have to prepare, like a Napoleonic sort of obsession of just preparation so that you dominate. Like you show up to the battle and it's just executing and everything is calm.
You've got all the plan made. You've got the way your win condition. You got your backup win condition.
Very true.
And you know what their win conditions against you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then that's a very cold way to interact with human beings.
Oh, yeah.
So I think for me, when you're talking about the positive charged way of the warrior, that's where I related to that.
Because the warrior is attached. The warrior is ultimately attached because he has to be a tool. He has to be precise. And he has to be able to, to execute on things, you can't be so emotionally charged. But warriors often will be, is an interesting part. That's why the sadist and the masochist exist.
Yes.
I suppose.
Is it because they have repressed so much of the emotion in pursuit of being the tool?
It's likely
like in pursuit of mastery over the whatever thing they're trying to master. They've repressed everything else on the side. So they when they go to their board meeting, like all these guys are like, yo, you're leaving us behind.
Yeah.
Like, what about us?
No, yeah.
What about us?
They repress the other archetypes, especially the lover archetype, because that's the one that feels, you know, with every fiber of its being.
Fox don't have feelings.
They don't. And so those two balance each other. I think there's like a pyramid in the book where it shows the two touching each other and the two opposing.
Yes.
And those are two that oppose each other. But they have to work together. Right?
Makes so much sense. Okay, so we took a side quest. We were talking. We were in the military guy.
Yes,
and I think you were double clicking on that before I branched it off to the
to ritual.
So
ritual.
Man. That is a classic. I'm telling you. Huh? Chief podcaster, you got it. Like you remembered the line. I had forgot. I had lost the line.
Hey,
man. I was like,
if one of us falls, the other's here to pick each other up.
There we go. There we go.
So back to ritual.
Oh, a little bit of Ecclesiastes.
Is that
ritual?
So?
What are you talking about?
Okay. Ritual. We are a ritualistic people. Our culture is built on rituals and traditions, and one important part of this is how we go from boy to man is it's done through ritual in the past. Nowadays, it's focused more on, like I talked about those pseudo initiations. Like military, that's a big one. That's a common one.
Yep.
And not to say that's bad, but it has a certain purpose.
Very true.
And a lot of times, like I said, it takes soldiers to war. It doesn't always bring them home.
They get that battle fatigue.
Battle fatigue, shell shock.
They get that
PTSD.
shell shock. we're not gonna lighten it. They get that shell shock.
And then they weaponize incompetence. But there's other ones too. Like think about like gangs, for instance. You know, like a gang initiation. That's obviously a pseudo initiation.
Very true. Very true.
So nowadays, it's very individual. You have to go through these rituals yourself, if they even exist. You know, if they do, it's not like a particular ritual. They mention in the book previous rituals, like think about like tribes, like thousands of years ago when people were in tribes, there was always an elder.
Very true.
So you had to have a sacred space and you had to have a ritual elder to guide you through the process. Someone you could trust, someone that's been through it, and a space that is sacred, you know, that you assign meaning to, that pulls a purpose. And so that's what they did in the past is, you know, and not to say that these rituals were amazing or anything, but it's something that's very ingrained in us because of, you know, these thousands of years of experience. So I wonder, how do we have ritual today? Like how do we emulate that in the modern world? Because we can't just be like, you know, we have complex, nuanced problems in the world.
Yeah.
So we can't just do a simple initiation ritual to fix it all, you know, or give us an manhood.
Man, you've highlighted so many points. It's so true. So true. And on the process itself, the other bit that shows you that it's like the demand, like our psyche almost demands it as men.
Yeah.
You mentioned the pseudo ones. I also thought of in universities, fraternities and sororities.
Yes.
That's a huge element of fraternities.
Yeah.
That there's that initiation component. So I wonder if is there just something in our psyche that like is calling out to that. But to your question, how do we do that in today's modern age? Mamma mia.
Yeah, I know. That's a hard damn
That's
question.
a hard one. And I partly was trying to answer that question on, I told you I did this series with Elias on this book, The Intentional Father.
Yes.
Because he asks that question. And he's asking it from, okay, you have your son. How do you, because it's like that part of the psyche needs to be fulfilled. And there is no, at the moment, there's no community that's doing it. There is no, well, let me give you an example. If you go, you don't even have to go thousands of years. Just go to Africa. If you go to Africa, like my tribe, we initiate through circumcision. So it's a whole thing when you're finishing about 8th grade. And I went through that.
Right.
I didn't go through the full scope of it, but most people go through it. But then most of the societies, too, even African societies, there's Christianity now. So the element of the initiation is not, it's not, I don't think, to this level that the sacred space, everything is set up at.
Yeah.
Because also I think the thought has shifted greatly on that. So for me, I was asking myself, when my son is coming of age, how will I do that?
Yeah.
And okay, I was like, well, I don't think circumcision or to make him wait until 13 to be circumcised, it doesn't make sense because we're not in that society.
Yeah.
It would make, maybe if we're living there, it would make sense because...
Was that also a bit traumatic too? Like, somewhat?
It's...
don't they like dip you in milk and stuff? Or
Oh, no.
No, that's something else. Okay.
We're modern.
Modern, okay.
You just go to the hospital.
Go to hospital, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I think maybe there's some tribes that, do it a little old school. But I think for most, you either go to the hospital or they bring a doctor and you line up.
It's not as easy as when you're a baby.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When you ask that question, what came to mind is the anticipation. Because the whole time you're growing up, they're like, it's coming. Oh, no. Snip, snip, snip. Like,
that would be terrifying.
Yeah, and then you see like for me, I saw my uncles who are a little bit older. You see they go through it. But there was such a like clear mark. Like once they went through that process, even how they were treated by everybody shifted. So there was such a huge benefit.
You're a man now.
Like you're a man. You got to carry responsibility. You got to ABCD. Whether they did it, that's a different story. But that still shows you that the transition fully happened there, right? So the expectation was there that you went through that, no longer boy, you gotta start acting a certain way. For me, what happened was I did that before I came to the States.
Yeah.
So I did that and then I came here, and here there's no context to it.
No.
Yeah. And it's just like, I'm expecting to be treated in such a manner, but you're a child. You're 13.
Yeah.
In the American context of things, you're 13 years old. Like, what you say? So, going back to your question of how do we do it? Personally, because there's such a spiritual element to even the way, they're describing it, the ritual element of it, but a lot of it was very spiritualized, the way they were doing it. They're going through that initiation. You're being initiated to what? Because initiation means you're beginning a journey of something, right?
Yeah.
So to what are you being initiated to? Is the first question that I ask.
Yeah. Because there's there's all kinds of initiation. I thought of some more actually along the way.
Go ahead.
Like modern ones that could be seen as initiation. Like as a kid, let's say your family goes hunting. Like this is like a country activity. You go out and hunt.
Yeah.
So you go with your dad, or your uncle or grandpa, or someone, some fatherly figure.
Yeah.
They take you out hunting, and you learn about what it means to take. I mean, some people, they just do it just because, I'm gonna go shoot the deer. But some people not. It's like, this thing is life, and we
have to honor it.
Yeah, we have to honor. We want to use it, like the fur and the meat, and as much as we can, bone, sinew, and whatnot. But you have to train a bit. You got to practice shooting. You got to learn how to sit still. If you're in a stand,
end, right?
even if you're just in a stand, you just kind of sit there. You're still sitting there and trying to be quiet. Now, if you're out on the field driving around or trying to actually walk around a hunt, then it gets even further. But I feel like that's a small initiation because you spend that bonding time with your father figure.
Yes.
Right.
And to me, that seems more fitting.
Yeah.
Because in those moments, it's not like the hunt is just kind of, it's the excuse you do so that you can go do actual work.
Yes.
Right.
And
it's just the activity that gives you the space you need, the sacred space.
Yes.
You need to go and act like continuously pouring into your son.
That's perfect. It's an excuse. So we need more excuses to get us out because we're in the lull of things. We go to school, we go to that, maybe we go hang at a friend's house, whatever, as a kid. But when you go on a hunting trip, you might be on hunting grounds, which for that exercise is a sacred space. And then you're there with the ritual leader.
Yes.
And
hunted many times.
Yes. And you hope they're also versed in such a thing.
And
so that's one.
In that process, they will teach you more than hunting.
Yeah.
So that's one. And that to me feels like an incremental. It can be an incremental.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't achieve everything. Right? That just does small stuff.
But with the rituals, it seems like it's a very marked, like a clear line, like bang. After this experience, you are on this side of the line. So how do we... let me not answer it for the world. I think it's more important to answer it for myself.
Yeah.
Like, how do I do that for my son in a way that aligns with my beliefs now and in a way that also honors that component of his psyche that is waiting for that when he gets to that age? And I think that's partly even why I told you why I wanted to do this mini series as well. Is I'm still exploring that.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have the answers. We're trying to figure out
We're digging.
We're digging for wisdom here.
But so far what I have is it just has the intentional father was a book. It has to be very intentional from way younger. Yeah. And I think like activities like the ones you're saying they're hunting, like you have those mini ones, and then they'll still need to be like a marked. Okay, after this night, we went. I mean, I don't think it needs to be some. You have entered the sublime mysteries. No, right? It can be okay. We've gone.
That part is fun. It is nice, and it really sets the tone. But like, it's not necessary. Perhaps.
It's not necessary. Yeah. It sets the mind space. I guess you can say that. Yeah. But you can go on like a long hike. Yeah. Like the example he gives with his son, he went on called the El Camino? There's a huge
that's a big trail.
Yeah, the big trail, like 400 miles or something like that. You can hike it over. It's in Spain. You can do it over, a month or something.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, but it's a pretty rigorous hike. Let's call it that. But on that journey, after that, you can say, okay,
Wait,
Because you've gone with them, you're their guide, you've walked that trail with them. Then after that, you're like, okay,
wait,
now you're fully transitioned.
I like that
on the other
example a
side.
lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking in the same sense. It's like, all right, if I had a child, a son in particular, I guess, because if we're talking about,
Boys,
a boyhood to manhood,
Yeah.
then a hike actually sounds really, because I love hiking, and you go on you go on a multi-day adventure, right? You go camping, but how would you integrate that ritual part? Like, and because you have to impart lessons, and they're not going to be fully understood then, but like, how do you determine when it's ready, and what lessons do you hone? I imagine throughout their whole childhood, you're dropping stuff. You're building the foundation, and then this is one that like culminates together. Which would take some serious planning
for sure. And that's what this guy did, and I really like it. So they started I think by 13. Then they're having those incremental experiences.
Hey son, you're ready to start becoming a man. 13, that's what you're saying.
But because it's that, like, I mean, you're hitting puberty.
Yeah.
You're starting to see some beards or whatever. Like your body too is going through the change.
Yeah.
And then if you do that, and then the final experience is at 18. Then it's a natural transition too, because they're going into the world as an adult at that point.
Yeah.
Well, the world considers them an adult. So
okay.
To me, it seems the only part that it lacks, and he gives a solution for it, is the communal element of it. Because the ritual and initiation that he references, that are seen from the tribes and everything, the whole community was on board. And we're back. We had to take a little break. little technical 1-2. So we're talking about the initiation, and you asked me, like, okay, how do we do it in the modern way? And so I think that might be the way to do it.
Yeah.
That there's that gradual, and then you have a sort of market moment where you do something that I think should have a component of the physical, the spiritual to it, and then definitely the guide, where you as the father acting as the guide.
Right.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned the community.
Oh, that's where we're going. The community. So he asks the question there of, like, how do you make sure your teen, right? Because they're pretty much your boy transitioning to man.
Yeah.
Is not like, yo, this is some random thing that I'm just doing with my dad, because it's that age where they identify.
He talks to his friends. Hey, did you guys take you out on like a 5-day hike and tell you a bunch of stuff
like,
when you're 18? No. My dad's just weird.
So how do you make sure that because they will have that kind of question. How do you make sure you have an answer to that? And the best way is you have a cohort. So you get together with a group of other fathers who are seeking a similar approach, and who definitely understand that has to be honored. Like if you just leave that psyche component of it empty, they'll find it elsewhere.
Yes.
in the pseudo initiations that you were talking about.
Yes.
So that was the way to solve it. But it's still because they talk in the book about how it was a natural part of society. So we never had to do it by ourselves. But now, since we're in a society that is so individualized like that, you have to be so intentional to be able to do it in that way, where it actually brings value. Yeah. But what are your thoughts? Like how do we do it in the modern way, when the rituals and the apparatus themselves are not there?
I think the hardest part for me is the community aspect of it. I think it's so easy to be, because of how individual we are. Like even the way we're talking, like, oh, it's your parents' job. It's your dad's job to do this or that. Instead of defaulting to the community that we had before.
Yeah, your uncles and the whole.
So I don't know. If in a perfect world, I'd hope I could, in a way, build my own tribe, both of family and friends, neighbors, things like that. That's going to have to really harness a lot of that king energy, for one.
Yes. And arrange and facilitate. And
yes. But in an ideal world, heavily build out a good community that, would be like-minded. And the reason I bring that up is because it made me think about myself. we have a lot of religious communities, which I think are fantastic. You know, having a place to go, that's like by definition sacred space, like a church or a mosque or something like that.
It's consecrated, it's set apart.
And you have people that come together, the same sort of purpose, you know, same traditions a lot of times, maybe not for like some modern offshoots of the religion, but in general, you know, they're steeped in traditions, and there's even rituals in that as well.
Like bar mitzvahs, those are there.
Confirmation.
Yes.
Right.
Very true.
That's a big one. I think that's a super useful. But for me, as I'm currently not practicing religions. As a non-religious practicing person, how do I find something like that and get the value out of it? Now, I could just go to church, but like, right? Like I could, even if I'm not gonna, you know, practice the religion, I go there for the community.
Will it have the same value though?
Exactly. Yeah. And so the world is increasingly secular and non-religious. So I'm a reflection of that.
Do you think the pendulum, back to your pendulum swinging, do you think it's going to swing the other way? Where it will get to where it's so secular and so profane, lacking that sacred meaning to life, that then the psyche or our own soul will like cry out for meaning.
It already has.
Like cry out for community, It
already has. I'm a living reflection of that.
Double click.
I want community, but I have to build it.
You want community, but you don't want the structured element of it.
I do want some of the structured element of it.
Okay.
But I just don't necessarily completely relate to the religious parts of it, I suppose. The spiritual parts, absolutely. And maybe it's just because the religions that I have explored, and part of this is it's not something I've double clicked on too much.
I see.
I grew up Christian, which I appreciated, you know, and I was confirmed, and I was.
So you grew up.
I was Lutheran.
Lutheran. Oh, okay. I never knew that.
Yep.
You don't talk about that.
Yeah,
you've never mentioned that.
I went to church, and I liked it. I had a great pastor. Honestly, he was a great man. At least the one that I knew when I was older, like when I was confirmed and stuff. Yeah. I think we had a pastor too before.
And confirmation happens at like what age?
When you're 12, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think I was in middle school. So yeah, it would have been, like 12 to 14, I'm pretty sure. 13, something like that. But yeah, I would go there and I'd put on the robes and stuff and do the singing. Yeah. And I would read some passages sometimes. And it was a smaller congregation. It was mostly like elderly. But, you know,
as most,
a lot of wisdom there. And it was nice. Not a whole lot of people my age. So.
Do you find yourself now, I mean, is there a longing for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but I get off-put a bit when so I've gone to, you know, some of the big mega churches as well, and I'm very off-put by those. Not that they're bad. I don't want to say that they're bad because there's a lot of good that comes from them, but like the community part of it, I feel like it's so watered down. You know, I want to be able to go up to the pastor and be like, hey, how's it going? And then talk to Susan in the choir.
I see.
And then Becky made the casserole.
Yep.
You know, whatever. You know.
Yeah, and hear about Jimmy's kids and how.
And that's a to each their own situation. But I would like that in a sense that it's not just limited to the religion. Like a community that you could be religious. Like, you don't have to not be religious. You could be Christian or Muslim or Buddhist or non-practicing or whatever the hell, you know. But you want to have a community where you support each other.
Do you think, okay, because I think that there's a good chunk to double click on and we can explore it a bit. Do you think those things can coexist? Right? You see the coexist logo, right? When the end goal of each one of those practices, if the end goal is different, can they truly coexist in that sacred space? And something that I was double click podcast today was I was reading up, just comparing the way that Jung viewed, let's say, something like sin in the scriptural sense, sin the coloring or the example that you would say, maybe it's the shadow, right? But the shadow seems like it has, you can go and mine and bring something positive out of it. You're supposed to integrate it,
Yes.
make it a whole part and become a whole person once you do that. But in the Christian way of things, sin is like nothing you integrate. You leave it behind. You want to be dead to sin.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal itself, and here I'm just giving, obviously, this is more of a psychology, philosophical way of looking at things, and then as spiritual. But the point that I'm trying to drive at is, if the end goal is different, can these practices coexist?
How big of an end goal are we talking? Are we talking the end goal is so vague that we can't have an agreement on how to get there, or they're completely end goals and completely separate end goals entirely, right? Like because of maybe the cultural background or the religion or whatever super anchor to that identity is.
And that's a good question. Let me give you the example of Christianity, right? Like with Christianity, it's very explicit. The only way to God is through Jesus Christ, right? Through his own words, I am the way, the path, like no one comes to the Father except through me. So it doesn't leave much room for interpretation. Yeah, like, oh, can we come in through Buddha? No.
Yes.
Can we I mean, it's very clear. This is the path, this is the way. So, because you asked the question of, you're making the statement of having community, and that these are sacred spaces that already have the community element built to it. And I'm saying, okay, if for you to get the full benefit of the sacred space, do you have to buy into, I'm using that lightly, like, do you have to believe the core tenets of what that sacred space is built under?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that gets back to my experience with not necessarily wanting to identify with the Christian church. And it's not because I don't see necessarily, I mean, there's problems with everything, right? But that's not why. It's because my journey had taken me a different way, you know. And that I can't fully speak to that because it's not something, like I said, I've dived into enough to. I haven't been diligent enough in that aspect. I hear. And I could, who knows? I could always find my way back or somewhere else. You know?
We'll find you at the Lutheran church at the corner of.
Yeah, or I could be at the mosque of 27th and.
That's an interesting point with the mosque one, because for you feel you've expressed the archetype you lean towards more is the warrior.
There's warrior cultures and religions, right?
Very clearly, yes.
And Christianity is one.
Yes, it is.
In fact, it's probably the biggest one, actually, other than like some like Sikhism, right? Isn't that even more warrior aspect?
Is it?
I could be wrong.
I'm not certain. Because I'm not sure actually. But whether with Sikhism, but Christianity
and Islam, those are the big two, and they're in opposition a lot of times.
Very true. Very true. But like their lineages are literally in opposition, because one comes from, like, you are from the promised child, and then this one is from
Abraham, your sons, what have they done?
Isaac. They come from Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. They're the two parts.
So yes, in that sense, to answer your question, if your core tenets aren't aligned, then there's going to be a clash. But I think what I'm driving at is our perception of the core tenets and our route to get there is what stops us a lot of times than what the absolute end goal might be. And what is Christianity's end goal?
To be united with God.
United with God.
I think so. Like to be aligned with God. Yeah.
So what does that look like on earth?
On earth as it is in heaven. No. Yes. I'm saying yes, but I wanted to, I just want to give you like a one line and not explore what that means.
Okay.
I think what it looks like for me, let me answer it that way because I don't want to speak for everybody.
Of course.
It is on your daily walk, aligning yourself to Christ.
Mhm.
So
Living like Christ did.
living like Christ, yes, living like Christ did, following how he lived. Like he's a blueprint.
Okay.
And oh man, I double clicked way too much today on ChatGPT and went on a whole rabbit chase. But down that idea of the primal wound, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a verse in Isaiah where it's like it's through his stripes. He was striped and wounded, and it's through his stripes that we're healed, right? Like he was crucified.
Mm.
And from that crucifixion is where we draw, as a Christian, that's where we draw our healing from. So what does that then look like on a daily walk? Do you walk as one who is wounded? You can't walk as one who's wounded, because you've if you walk as one who is wounded, it's as if you're saying, oh, you're striped and you're wounded for nothing. Like I still have to be that. So you walk as the one who has received the benefit of the stripes and the wounds that Christ paid. And in every one of those specific situations where he was wounded, we get tempted in those situations as well too. Or we might have primal wounds that mimic those situations as well, right? Like
And they push you
rejected,
to sin.
Yeah, and they push you to sin. So the daily walk, to answer your question, is aligning still when even those temptations arise, of which they will, still aligning back to that blueprint.
Is there major pillars? So like a part of Christianity I know is like forgiveness, right? Well, one for yourself and one for others. And then would you say the biggest part of it though is like this expression of love?
I think that's a component, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't think, here's the part maybe that I don't think it's an expression of love with the absence of truth.
Okay.
And by that I mean, I think maybe there is a way where it can be misconstrued as you're just supposed to express love for everything and accept everything because you're supposed to show love. No.
Right.
Right? Like the God that we serve is still is a just God. Like, and by just that means he will hold you to a standard.
There's rules to live by, the commandments.
The commandments,
and
yeah.
such. Right.
And so, yeah. And if you do not meet those standards, you will receive the consequence. So the part of love, it's not just to say, oh, it's love. There is a truth component to it. And I think that maybe balances it out.
I see. Yeah, I mean, because that's a realistic take as well, right? I mean, because you can say I love, and then what happens when you love something that hates another thing you love? And hey, all right, we're supposed to, still love, but you can't just be a pushover, right? You can't be ran over by the world. You have to be able to stand firm in your belief, I suppose.
Like there is the balance there,
but not also be destructive.
Not be destructive,
right?
You cannot be. What did we have here? Going back to the chat, right? The destructive will be the grandstander bully.
Yeah.
And the coward will be the doormat.
Yeah. So right? Walk over me.
So it's matador on one side, doormat on the other.
Yeah. Oh my God! I just remembered something so incredible.
Go ahead.
I texted you about Vinland Saga, and it just reminded me again about that because I don't want to ruin any of it for you, but it's so incredible. There's this common theme in it that you have no enemies. I have no enemies.
You are your own enemy?
Not even that.
Friend. Ooh.
I mean, well, that could be a part of it, but it's not explicitly meant to. It's talking about the external for the most part, that we have no enemies. And so we run into people that would seemingly at first glance be opposed to us. And so because they're opposed to me, what's your first reaction? Well, I'm opposed to them.
Yeah, push
and
back.
We will come into conflict. Well, instead we question and we learn about them. We dialogue, we talk. And even if they're still opposed, we stand firm in our belief that we have no enemies. And we don't create another one by just giving in to that opposition. So we stand, and perhaps and not everyone's going to be converted. Everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, they talk to me. I'm not an enemy, or that's not realistic. But we're not going to create one in our own mind.
Woo.
I've been struggling with trying to fully realize that in my everyday life, but it's one that I just came up from your speaking.
That's beautiful, and I think it aligns with Brother Marcus's.
Oh yes,
Brother Aurelius.
Yeah,
in his statement.
That would actually be a very core tenet of Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism. Yeah.
Like it's against nature to act as if they're your enemy.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes. You've got a good memory of Mr. Meditations.
He's over there. He gets meditated on.
Yeah.
And then just wrestling with him. But it's like begin every morning with that statement of you'll meet with the busybody. You'll meet with all those people trying to act as if they're your enemy.
Right.
But if you yourself within you internalize it and you treat them as stars, then you're acting against the nature.
Right.
And I think for me, then the double click to the spiritual side of it is if you're acting in that way, you're not aligning to that standard, let's say, that God has set.
So to return click back to spirituality.
Control Z.
Get back to the faith. Where I was going with that ultimately was that I think there's a lot of common trends, and ultimately I boil it down. This is vast oversimplification, but people, they want to feel loved and they want to be at peace. Most people, I would say, they want to be joyous. They want to feel like they're doing good and that they have a purpose and a meaning in life.
Very true.
And so I think, the realistic implications there maybe can get bogged down, but call me naive. I would think that no matter what, if you have those ideas in mind, we can work toward a better end in some constructive way.
That I fully agree.
Okay.
That I fully agree. Yeah. Like the base desire of every human.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so whether religion or culture, put aside, I still think we could have a community built on that if we want to cultivate the boy, the child, their foundations, in particular for men, the four archetypes, then we could use that. That could be an end goal we want, and we get to it with some of these other core tenets.
That's true. And the archetypes themselves transcend. They don't. I don't think they care what religion you're in or what spirituality you're in.
They'll come out one way or another, right?
They will. That is okay.
I'm trying to simplify down to the human level because it sounds so corny and cliche, but it's so true that we're all human. It's so true.
Yep.
Yeah. No matter what, it's gonna come out one way or another.
Yeah. And yes. Because these things that you see them in all different cultures. And I think that's why for me there's also an interest in studying mythology.
Yeah.
Because mythology gives you a very common, almost a common language between all the cultures. It's just they might be using different words, but the language they're speaking is very, very aligned.
Different figure, even different story, but there's so many same stories that would have the same outcome ultimately, or the same lesson.
Yes.
Yeah, I also love studying mythology and stuff. Like, we have the monotheist ones. They have all these different aspects, and it helps you categorize, right? And they have not the monotheist. That's one. What was it?
Mono is one. Polytheist.
Polytheist. Yeah. But that's the multiple. And then we have the monotheist, that started at Zoroaster, where there was basically just one God.
Yep.
And then, we have the Abrahamics that sprung later on in inspiration to that.
Yeah. So even the stories too in the scriptures mimic so much of what what was seen in other cultures. And as a Christian, that is always something that as I'm reading it makes me wonder, can God... Oh, it makes me arrive at not even wonder. I think it's arrive at the conclusion, like God cannot be contained in just one book. Like he can express himself boundlessly. Because if there's stories, like for instance, the story of Job in the Bible, there is multiple versions of that story from different times. There's like a Sumerian version.
Yes.
There's a Babylonian version. So that tells me it's the general, it's almost back to the language of the archetype. Like the general undercurrent is the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in this version, it was written in a way that is different.
So that's exactly, this goes back to my personal religious choice, why I haven't chosen.
You must pick.
So much of it, I feel like, is trying to get to the same point, right? There's this deeper power, and it's a way to define it. It's this deeper power, soul, energy that flows throughout everything we know. And it's something that we clearly recognize, or at least want to explain. And religion is often the best way to do it.
The language of religion,
I think that's part of the dangers of only being science-based, is because even science tries to explain this with like metaphysics and like quantum energy and dark matter. Like even that is its own expression, but it loses like this soul connection, I think, a bit. Or at least on the scientific level. I think some of those, really deep scientists that go really deep, they
end up finding it's connected the whole time.
Yeah, and they full circle in that moment. Yeah. But that's my qualms, I suppose. It's like, oh, it's all so connected. Like, to choose one, I feel like I would limit myself. Even though
I see
that might not be true.
I see. Okay, let me double click on the warrior element then in you. Do you feel like, because the warrior must select a path.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't select a path, then you're there in that limbo of you haven't chosen something, but still that there's a cost. There's a cost that you pay for not choosing.
Opportunity cost.
Hey, bring a little bit of economics in here. There's the opportunity cost that you pay for not choosing a path.
Yeah.
And choosing a path just brings mastery in that specific element. So do you think by holding that view of, okay, I will not choose whether to go down the Christian path, Muslim, whatever, because you will not choose, do you think you're losing out on like something, I guess, even like we mentioned community earlier on, but let's minus community, the internal growth that you could get from choosing a path and going down it?
Yeah, I actually never thought about that. I think that's a good way to put it. I think I very well could be. I think I could gain in other sense, in other ways. And part of this goes to my personality. Like I'm a jack of all trades, master of none.
Oh man, I had that quote, and I heard that it's actually better than that. The full version of it is positive to be a jack of all trades.
The full quote is jack of all trades, master of none, but better than a master of one.
Yes, give that full thing.
That's the full quote.
I like that better than jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, because it puts it down. And I do feel that way. I mean, there's two ways you can go breath out, and you can know so much and dive about all these things. And because you know all this stuff, you see the connectiveness of it. Like you see how everything comes together, and you can use this puzzle piece to figure out this one. Or, hey, maybe we're missing this viewpoint over here. And I think that's what I love about that sort of general lifestyle and mindset. Or, you're the master of one. You dig so deep, you push the boundaries of that understanding when you go that deep. You push humanity forward, and that's like what scientists do, right? They push forward.
But the point that you made is if they push forward, when they get to the archetype, to the core, then they realize it was connected the whole time.
Yeah.
So is there something lost by not going in and pushing forward?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I can't fully speak to that from my experience yet, but logically concluding, there's an opportunity cost I'm missing. True.
But also what is, and I'm not asking this as like, oh, choose a path. I'm wrestling with it too.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because part of me is I'm glad that I've chosen the path and to go forward down on this path, right? But my general way of life is still to go like, okay, those Chinese people are living over there. The Indonesians, they're living peacefully. They're doing their thing.
Yeah.
Like, what do they have wrong?
What are they doing right?
What are they doing wrong? Yeah, what are they doing right? And let's go to the spiritual side of things. Like, how do I say, okay, what they're doing is right, and if the fruits are okay? And that's one thing that I wrestled with for a long time. And I think to this day, I still wrestle with it a bit, because I lived in Taiwan for some time, and man, society is booming over there.
Society, I mean, it's got its own problems, but it's got its own harmony as well. A different type of harmony, like completely different.
Very true.
Right? I mean, you know this more than most anyone, because you've lived there for multiple years, studied there, lived along the language.
Like there's peace. People are just doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally walk as a woman at 4 a.m. in the morning and nobody will bother you. And this is in their capital city. Like, try and do that in New York or yo.
No, not happening.
Nope.
And it's because of how individual, like in the West, we're a straight line. We get from one point to B, we have the freedom to climb. We have the freedom to do nothing if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
But rather in the East, and there's just two separate ways. It's more like a circle, right?
Yes.
You are a piece of the society and you contribute to it.
Very true.
And you have meaning and purpose to that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. I mean, that's not to generalize the general sentiment of people who live there. Some people probably feel opposite, but people in the U.S. feel opposite too.
And like you're saying, find your tribe.
Yeah.
Like the world is big enough where you can find your tribe there.
What do you do when your tribe is the one you're born into, right?
You say,
that's a classic story though. It's like, I don't fit in with my tribe.
I gotta go to the Amazon forest. We didn't cover one of them.
What else?
I want to make sure we give love to all.
Let's do it.
So we started with the precocious child.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the
divine child.
We did the hero. Oh man, the hero took us on a wonderful.
Did we do the hero?
We kind of started on the hero.
Okay.
Because we talked about the grandstander bully and the coward.
Oh yes, right.
And then we ventured off and we had technical to fix too as well.
So we just need the lover then.
The lover.
What do we got
Man,
there?
why do we always put the lover last?
I don't know.
I feel like
maybe
even
that speaks to us.
Yeah, there must be a reason. So the boy version, we have the Oedipal. Oedipal, is that how you say that one? Oedipal?
Oedipal.
Oedipal?
I've heard it said a couple of different. And I would say Oedipal, but I've also heard the other way.
Okay, because of the Oedipal complex.
Yeah, like Oedipus.
Oedipus. You want to hit the story of Oedipus? So he was born, and there was a prophecy on him, right? There was a prophecy on him that he was going to kill his father.
Yeah, so he would be king.
And he would be king. So his father gets rid of him or puts him in some mountain somewhere to die off.
Yes.
Which is very Moses-like. Mm-hmm. Once again,
so you will not replace me.
Drawing the string. Does not die, gets raised, ends up...
he gets discovered as like he's kind of like up and coming. This guy might be something.
Might be the next CEO.
But they don't know that's who. They don't know his origin necessarily.
Yep.
And so he ends up killing his father and marrying his mother.
Yes.
The queen.
So he attacks a carriage and he didn't know that it was his father's.
Right.
And then I think he kills his father and then goes back to the city and they find. Well, he didn't even know who the queen was. The queen is looking for a husband. Ends up marrying I think he ends up marrying his mother first, then later on kills his father.
Oh, it's later on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember right. But I might be wrong. But in essence, the key thing is that he ends up marrying his mother and then he does not find out until later. Yeah. And he gets beware when he gets banished and
he's like, what?
Kicked out when he finds out. So the Oedipal child, their closeness to the mother, and it makes sense because that's the first relationship that every boy child has.
Yeah.
And that's the first person who gives you the comfort, who gives you a sense of safety, the security, the warmth, right? So the for the shadow, the active side of it is the mama's boy.
Mama's boy.
And the negative side of it, or the negative charge side of it, is the dreamer.
Yeah. Both of those are connected to the mother, like you talked about. But it's not necessarily, it often initially comes forward as the literal mother, the maternal figure.
Yes.
But it transitions into the eternal mother. So the idea, because a boy grows up and he learns like his mother's not perfect and she's not going to have everything that he needs from that. But the idea of the eternal mother, all the endless love, the endless compassion that idea gives is what he ultimately is supposed to align to.
Very true. Yes. Yes. And if he does not do that, that's where we get the mama's boy side of things. Right?
He's a little too attached to mom.
Very attached, because the mom, and also I think it becomes like a reinforcing, almost a negatively reinforced loop.
Yeah. Because
I think it's Freud with the line, the mother, like a good mother lets go. Right? Like they love, and then they need to push.
Because a mother, she gets so much from that, and that's her job. But
her job is to push you.
She has to be in her fullness
and push you out.
Relinquish.
Because otherwise she ends up just choking you with her compassion.
Yeah.
And killing you with that, because you never leave.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to live.
You're supposed to live
and become a man. So I think it ends up being the negative reinforced of it is, and I got this idea first from Dr. Peterson of they almost sign a contract in their mind where the mother tells the boy, like, you never have to grow and be a man. Like, you never have to mature and fully take up responsibility and go the full scope. But in turn, if you don't do that, I'll always love you. I'll always show you this I'll take care of you so you don't have to mature. And obviously both of them end up suffering.
Yeah.
Because these are the ones. Yeah, it's cyclical. And he puts the weight of the great mother, the archetype of the mother itself, on the physical mother. And she cannot bear it.
She can't live up to that.
She cannot.
Yeah, because, well, one, she's not supposed to, and two, she just actually can't, because, you can never be the eternal mother fully.
You're a bag of meat, you're human too. I think this way, if the boy has a little bit of the trickster in him, can bring some lightness to it. And then the dreamer was the other side.
Oh, of the lover, the dreamer. So he's just
the Oedipo child.
This one I struggled to fully grasp a little bit in boyhood.
Me too.
Because it's like he's lost a little bit. Yeah. Because he never received that love, he kind of just shuts down almost.
And shuts the world.
Imagines it in his mind like the love, or, it doesn't have to be, it could be anything. It's like the adventure he wants, the amazing friends he wants. But if that's not his reality, or he didn't get enough to cultivate that sort of feeling, he just attaches. Yeah. He completely detaches from it.
Very true. And he wants it, but he's not willing to also do the work.
Yeah.
Because
to go grab it.
Yeah, to go grab. And I think maybe it's because to the security that he did not receive.
Yeah.
To tell him, okay, even if you fail, you'll be okay. Like, you can go, you can fail, you can try again, but then I'm just gonna dream, but I ain't gonna do nothing about it. And in his fullness becomes the lover. So that's the lover archetype. The two shadow side of the lover, we have the addicted lover and the impotent lover.
Yep, those are pretty straightforward in terms of how they're described. The addicted lover always wants more. Always wants more. Always. Another woman to go chase. Another feeling to go chase.
Don Juan.
Don Juan. That's what they reference heavily. And because of that, they're never satisfied. And it could be anything. Yeah. Addicted to anything, like substances, to just the feeling. Like, you see this a lot.
Next high.
You see this a lot in artists, because they're so in tune with the creation part of life. Because in the lover, it's a lot of the creation. Yeah. The artists heavily identify with the lover, but they're not in check. they're not able to detach enough, or they're not able to see that there should be a limit to what they want.
And the detached side is like what you're saying with the warrior is the polar opposite of it. So the detachment, they need to tap into the warrior side of it.
Absolutely. And then the impotent lover is one that's, they're still gripped by that detachment part, but they want so much that they just kind of, they give up, right? They're, in terms of literal sense, like let's say, their sex life is completely like irrelevant, right? If you take it, the literal impotent lover, that's what it is. It's just like, nothing's happening.
Nothing going on in those side of the woods.
And no effort will be made to improve that, right? What are other, like the impotent lover, I'm trying to think in other aspects of life, right? Where it would show up.
Man, I had a tough time grasping this one.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to dive into that one a little more in our studies.
Yes, like outside of, which interestingly, I think they did unique books for each one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think I need to grab, all of them, but the one that I need to double click on is the lover. Yeah. Because to me, I still don't have a full, like that's the one that it's fleeting.
I see the positive, or the what were we using?
Positively charged.
The positively charged.
The positively charged shadow side.
That one I see. I understand more. It's the negative one that I'm not as.
Oh, the impotent lover.
In tune with understanding. Yeah. Because ultimately, lover, like I said, it's creation. It's energy. It's being able to be passionate about something, and force energy, anything. But you have to have a balance. You can't have too much of that.
Yeah, because like it's that interconnectedness of everything. Oh, that's where they become possessed fully by like pursuing the unity.
Yes,
and I think maybe it's even in that pursuit they lose their individual uniqueness, because
you're very in tune with every whim, every energy that's coming your way, your own included. But like others, like someone's very angry at me. You fall into that anger very easily. Like, oh wow, that anger that this other person's feeling. You're not able to detach from the emotion because of how connected you are, and there's good parts of that, And
I was laughing because I thought of the if comments that you made earlier.
If the dog didn't stop to do, he would have caught that rabbit.
Yeah. It was just, what if? I need to love all of them.
What if? Yeah, the lover.
We covered pretty much all the boy side of things.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to take an episode each and go into each side of the man is the word he uses it. The man psychology of it, like the matured version of it. Where the house has been properly built upon the foundation of the boyhood.
Yes.
And I think even through our different episodes, we'll be weaving in back to the boyhood, because the most value that we're going to get from this, I think, is if we actually apply to our own lives. And like we did. Actually just go like, okay, well, how was it for you as a boy? And where do you see yourself in this definition of things?
Yeah, so we'll start with the warrior.
Yep.
That'll be our first one that we do.
Excited
for that one.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to magician. And next up, the lover.
Yep.
And as contrary to the title, which starts with king, we're actually going to end with king.
We'll end with king.
And excited to dive into each one of those.
Man, me too. Let me ask you, why bother doing this mini series for you?
For me,
why spend hours delving into and doing this mini series?
One, I mean, what spurred this to begin with was, I remember we'd met right after New Year's, and I'd put like a vague resolution where I wanted to create more. I wanted to kind of hone in a little bit on that creation aspect. So I kind of with the lover energy a little bit. Yeah. And you would message, hey, you remember this book these videos we'd watch and this books we had read? We want to have a conversation about it and come on my podcast. And I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds awesome. And so once I got thinking about that a bit more, I really like the idea of actually, because you can read it and like fully study it and apply it. but I love our conversations in general that we have when it's in topics like these. And so we can exchange ideas and we can grow each other in talking with them. And so that's the main thing I wanted to get out of it is, learn how to actualize this book into my life, because I think it's very powerful.
Super powerful.
The teachings here are extremely important. And so I want to have a way to like bring that forth, and you're fantastic at that. Like Joe is a wonderful king archetype at pulling the potential out of others.
Thank you.
and I relate to the warrior and the magician, where I want to learn and have technical mastery, and I want
take action.
I want to go forward and take action.
Forward, yes.
And so this helps me do that. And focus on where my weaknesses, what shadow parts I'm looking at. Because I'm aware of many of them. There's probably some I'm not aware of that I need to find as well. And so I'm not saying this process is going to necessarily do that, but it's going to bring up conversations that we've already had
and it's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's a step towards exploring your own self, for sure.
And then the other half, to finish out the question, is the creation. So we're recording this.
Yep.
We get to create something and put it out there.
Maybe it was not there before.
Maybe we put something into the world, and I love that idea.
Yep.
If not for at least one person, for ourselves at least.
We already have an audience of 2 here. Yeah.
What about you?
I think, for me, and as I was telling you last week, I'm on this journey of truly trying to understand what it is to be a good man. Or let me rephrase it. Actually, it's the other way around. What it is, how do I become good at being a man? That's a different way. How do you become good at being a man? So that really calls forth, like, you have to, number one, define what is a good man. And I want to really ground this in my own experiences, and there is a whole lot of introspection that is going on, and I'm so happy that we have sacred space here, this podcast. Like we're able to just go back and forth and be honest with our own selves. So there's a lot of that digging for me that I want to continue digging. I'd already started on this journey, and I want to dig more and more and more to find if there's any elements of the boy psychology that is, I have the negative charged shadow elements of it that haven't been integrated. I definitely want to do that. So what does it mean to be a good man, and how do I act as a good man? So that's one. There is a component of it of now, about to get my son. Yeah. So I want to go digging so that I'll have some gold to give the young lad, Yeah. Like, my little dude gotta get some gold. I don't want to, like, he shows up and I'm like, I don't know, man.
You got to do fatherly spiritual labor.
Very true. I got to go and labor so that I can give him that inheritance. That's more than money.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta get him the dough too, but I want to give him something substantial. And for me, I've been doing some laboring definitely on the spiritual side of things, but on the psychological side of things as well. I want to make sure that when my son comes to me with those questions, I actually have something to offer.
Yeah. That's a noble cause, I'd say.
It is. It's a heavy undertaking.
Yes.
Let me say it that way.
Responsibility too.
Yeah, I'm taking it with the humility, and I think also the lightness that I know when we do this in a podcast. By talking, we also clarify so much of our own thinking, and even from my own biases. When you sound it out loud, and you get a mirror from the other person, you can be like, okay, maybe on that one I'm a little off. Yeah. And then there's also on the creative side of it, same thing. I'm on board with that. And communication as well. Yeah. Like, I want to learn how to communicate better, tell stories better, like just be engaging.
Yeah, because I mean, part of this, we are conversating, but we also want to be able to, regurgitate, not just regurgitate information that we've learned, but make it, impactful in our own meanings, in our own words. And so we have to communicate to be able to do that. So that's also another part I get out of it.
Yeah.
Now, I think as well, I'll try my best, and I think I've put my best.
Somebody's hearing the thunderings happening in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it's good lightning out there. I've tried my
That was
best.
my wife warning me or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it wasn't. Okay.
Good. What time
Because
is
I
it?
know there was gonna be some tornado warning.
Okay.
9:43.
All right, perfect time. Then we're almost
Yeah,
there.
we're almost there.
And hold me accountable to being honest, because I think I've done a good job. I put my heart out and try to be candid on some of this stuff, and especially on like the shadow part of it, because I'm by no means perfect, and if anything, I paint myself to be pretty imperfect so far, and I'm fine with
It's
that.
the human side.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with that, and so I'm trying to put my most candid foot forward.
I hear you.
On that.
I hear you. And same here. And I think that's the vulnerability that we both we both have been displaying, and
Yes.
we both need to keep displaying for this thing to even be fruitful.
Yeah.
Because else we just
We can't go. We
just
know
hear
it all.
like, let me tell you about the concept that I learned about, like without the actual vulnerability to yourself. It's words on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Warriors next.
Warriors next.
Oh, I
You
think.
wanna give us a little? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no! Oh, sorry.
A little teaser to Warrior.
A little teaser. Oh man.
Ooh.
The warrior spirit, the archetype, I heavily identify with, mostly because of its action oriented. The warrior is the one that pushes forward, that makes things happen. It's the execution of such, but it's a misunderstood archetype. You know, it gets a really bad rep, especially in the modern day, because of the shadow forms, how they've possessed another, and how they've been repressed. Right? I mean,
yes. Oh yeah.
I don't mean this in a way to dog on any movements, but a lot of the feminism movements have had consequences of these like negative, these toxic masculine movements countering them. And so we have to find a balance to actually cultivate that warrior spirit, because I think that's one that's seeped into the modern. When I say modern, I mean this last decade the most.
Yeah.
Is that toxic masculine spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it arises because there is the positive element of it is not shown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And back again to the analogy of the board, it's been ignored for so long that it's like, rah!
It is coming
Andrew
up.
Tate, I am here, right?
Exactly.
Like really, like it's like I'm here and I'm going to dominate because I've been ignored.
Yep. And so we'll have to see examples of that in its fullest. Examples of, the philosophy of what it looks like and where it shows up, so that way we can be cognizant of it. And in our war episode, we'll hopefully go into a lot of that. But exciting stuff.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped for that one, man.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the clearest one to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got a good story of us together that we'll
Yes.
go into.
Oh, yes. Yes.
There's a good livid story that dives into our own understandings of some of these archetypes. For me, particularly in the warrior, but it's displayed through other archetypes as well, and our reflections on them, becoming aware of them.
Yes. Ooh. Man, it's going to be an awesome journey. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Hey, how about you had something you wanted to say before I finish with, because I don't want to give people just a cliffhanger of that poem.
Okay.
I can read it really quick.
Yeah.
But before that, do you have any other closing thoughts on your mind?
The one thing that I would like to get to as well next time is the Jungian inspiration, because I want to dive into, Joe, you have a lot of understanding around Jung.
It's growing, man.
It's growing.
He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy to grasp.
Yeah, I haven't been able to. I consume his derivatives, which are fantastic, but I would love to get some of the history and background, and we don't have to do it in the Warrior, but anywhere we can, I would love to get some nuggets of that.
Man, I think we'll sprinkle a little bit of it everywhere, definitely, as we go. Yeah.
Awesome.
But he's a thick one to understand, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Noggin on him.
Ooh. Yeah. And like the guy who Jordan Peterson actually lists as the best, if you want to understand Jung, the best guy to read is this guy here, in the Great Mother which is about the mother archetype. Yeah, Eric Newman.
Ah.
So he has
Not
that.
Joseph Campbell, huh?
Joseph Campbell too.
Okay.
But so Eric Newman was actually Jung's student.
Oh, he's direct.
That
Ah.
tapped into the main line.
Well, then
Joseph Campbell came, I think, a little bit later on.
Yeah.
He was more reading into it and then making meaning. But this guy studied under Jung.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then he wrote some pretty thick ones there that I'm still digging through it.
I can see that.
So he has that one, The Great Mother, and then the other one is The History of Consciousness, I think is the name of that book. So
I have to dig into that then.
it's a lifetime pursuit. It's a digging for wisdom there.
For wisdom.
Yep. Okay.
All right, round us out.
Let me bring up that Rudyard Kipling. Where are you, number?
Kipling.
Mr. Kipling? I think it was page 89. And the poem is called If. So when I read it in the beginning of the episode, I kind of skipped around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it shows just the full journey of boyhood to manhood. And it paints that picture. And I think now at least we have more context.
Right.
Because we've gone through the boy psychology.
You can hit a little more.
Can have a little bit more weight. So I'll read it here. Rudyard Kipling, If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by nerves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make, I love this one. Woo! I think this is the one that just rings in my head. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve you long after they are gone and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, I think that's where you're talking about the enemy. Mm-hmm. There's no enemy. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Man, I got even more out of that, actually, the second time hearing it. Especially the beginning. Because it's like, you have these negative things that happen to you or that you do. Mm-hmm. It's phrased more like happening to you. You don't reflect it back out onto the world. You absorb it, or you redirect it, or you take it in stride. Mm-hmm. But you don't do it in such a way where you're grandiose.
You're grandiose, yeah. Oh, you're too wise.
You're not better. You're not too wise. You don't know, because no one wants that.
No one. Yep.
You want to just be.
And you don't want to be too wise in your own eyes.
Yes.
I think to me that's always one reminder thing that just happens in my mind.
That's hard.
And it's kind of the story of Icarus a little bit. Flew too close. He was just too wise. He was too grandiose. You don't want to be too wise in your own mind. You gotta bring the trickster a little bit and just be like,
Gotta humble yourself, right?
Humble a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is a good use of the trickster.
Yes, indeed. Self-humility. This too shall pass, but there shall be joy. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Awesome.
My man.
Hey.
It's in there.
Amen to that.